And hello there, we are live, which means today we will be building the Lego Star Wars Invisible Hand set 7.5 something or other. I don't remember the set numbers for this, but you might remember last week we built the Venator. It was our first MIDI scale build here on the channel, and now we are building another one. Next week we won't be building another one, and that is because, well, another one, because we won't be here on Saturday. I'm afraid Thursday there's a very special stream. It's going to be an all-day event. We'll be building the Master Builders Mos Eisley Cantina. Meant to be a 6-hour build. Probably be streaming a bit closer to 8 or so hours here on the channel. I might even have to upload that in 2 parts. We'll see about that. But let's make sure we are rolling on YouTube. That is a green light. On Twitch, another green light. Hopefully we can see a few of you in the chat. There are emotes on Twitch as well. Not sure if we have any of those built into YouTube, but I'm going to try to split my screen into a million different. I will try to at some point show you a screenshot of my screen, because I have the one monitor. I can't even remember the size of my monitor, but it's not a big monitor, and I have to split it between Twitch, YouTube, and then myself and the instructions for the ship that we're building today, because I did a video earlier in the week which did actually get quite a bit of good feedback. So thank you for everyone that's watched that. Hello there, Kid Wonder Stories. Always first, can always depend on you to hop in first into these streams. And the Invisible Hand is already discontinued here in the UK. How sad is that? The one time I actually go to pick up a set specifically for these streams and these videos, and I can't get my hands on the build. Don't know what's going on there. Not Lego's fault. I technically could still pick it up through Lego. It would cost me like an arm and a leg more, but I'm not going to go all the way to a Lego store or order it online and wait the 20 plus days it's going to take. So thankfully I've managed to part it out. But just before we get into the build, I have a few bones to pick with Lego. Don't worry, this video is not going to be taking a dark turn. Here we have the Brick Owl list. We're trying out Brick Owl. We've had mistakes with Brickset. Technically, Brickset used Bricklink, so we can't blame Brickset for the mistakes, but we had a few mistakes with Bricklink as well over the last couple of weeks. This week, we're going to be using Brick Owl instead. So, with the parts for the Invisible Hand, I've got the list here. I went through the instructions, parted the whole set out, but I realized there's a few pieces in here that perhaps don't need to be the color that they are. And I suppose it's down to Lego to give certain pieces for certain sets. I hope that button mutes the mic. If not, I'm again incredibly sorry. But there's a few pieces, specifically I circled a few of them. White 1x4, when we've got mostly black in the set, you're also looking at some round corner plates. 2 of them in 2 very different colors, could have been 1. Same goes for 1x3 inverted arches, and I think there was a tile as well. Yeah, we get 3 grey tiles or 3 black tiles, and then 2 in dark tan that are again hidden in the model of this ship. Very interesting, I thought, from Lego, considering we normally get, usually if there are pieces in one color, that sets the precedent for the entire build. And I didn't notice it too much with the Acclamator here. Obviously, this isn't looking like the Acclamator. This is actually the Venator. Plenty of videos out on the channel. In fact, the instructions for this are in video form for absolutely free if you want to build the Venator yourself. But we split this up like we have any of the others. 5 bags, so we've got 5 drawers. I'm making it easier than dumping all the parts out, but we're not making it too easy on ourselves here. And here's the save. Don't forget to stay hydrated. Yes, make sure you are drinking. This is going to be quite a long stream. Don't know exactly how long. I think it was about 2-3 hours for the Acclamator. I'm expecting the same, similar price point, probably a similar piece count as well. And of course, the 2 sets do go hand in hand. Well, at least now I've built it into the Venator. But first, we've got our MTR pieces on the brand new mat. I don't know if anyone's noticed already. This is a different mat to the one we had last week. Few parts that I think might be needed for this set, not entirely sure. But the mat that we've got now is available on my store on Fourth Wall. All the links you'll need, you'll probably actually see it below this stream, but they're over on the link tree if you are interested. Any video you click on, you will see my t-shirts and my desk mat. I've seen there's a few orders of the limited edition May the Bricks Be With You Always t-shirt, only running to the end of February. Thank you so much to everyone that's already bought one and supported the channel. Hello there, Daniel. Hello there, Never Too Old for Lego. Glad to see you both back in the stream. And if you don't know about the t-shirts, we've got a few. I think there's like 5 different designs on the website already. Some of them jumpers, some of them t-shirts. But we've got an exclusive t-shirt running to the end of February. This design with Always slapped on the back. And it's for those of you that always want to be a person from the start that's bought the merch, you know, something that right from the get-go, the t-shirt design might be sticking around afterwards, but that Always on the back is something that could be 1 of 1, 5 of 5, however many people buy that t-shirt, we'll make that many, ship them out, and then it's exclusive, gone forever, and never to come back to the store. We've got to make something exclusive. But with the pieces from this set, other than the handful of elements that could be color swapped, I really like the palette we've been given with this set. Very similar to the Acclimator, but I think there's even more juicy pieces with really good parts. There's also a few other topics to get into this week, no doubt. Haven't seen any update on the Lego Star Wars leak, so I guess we'll have to see about that. If you know any other Lego sets that have been leaked this week, please do let me know. Can't stay for long, Never Too Old Lego, that's no problem. You can always catch this on demand as well, whether you're on YouTube or Twitch. Had to come in and show your support. Hit that like button, of course. Don't forget to smash that like button, whether you are sticking around or coming back to watch this later. I have to say, with the invisible hand, before we get into building it, you can't see this on screen unless I accidentally bring this up later on like I did last week. There is a little bit of story behind the model and the ship in general. At the start of the instructions, really, really nice. And we don't get as clear an image as we did with the Acclimator at the start. We get a few action shots of it, which is really, really interesting. They haven't put that double page spread of it, but they still look really, really cool. One of those is from, is it Anakin's Eater Starfighter? I think it's the cockpit of Anakin's Eater. Really, really good shot. And then the other one is when they're crashing half the ship back on Coruscant. Like with all the MIDI scales, there's an interior to this build, but let's get into building it and I'll show off all the fun features later on. Has anyone picked up any Lego sets recently? Any other Lego builds being built alongside this stream? I would love to know in the chat. Speaking of builds, you might also know the background to this video is very, very different. I'm not sure how it comes across on camera, but it's very, very different to how it was last week. And I spent all day yesterday and all day today rearranging it, and there's a video that's going to come out hopefully tomorrow. Few hours of footage still to get through, but I'm really, really liking how it looks. The 3-in-1 camera for £7, that was an absolute steal. And I know £2 of that was through a voucher, which is always nice when you get a bit more money than the sale, but still, the 3-in-1, any of the Creator 3-in-1 sets for half price is a really, really good deal. There's some new ones of them actually that I think Lego have just announced. There was, I think the typewriter's a little old. I think there was a record player, like a vinyl player, something like that Lego have just announced, and that's a 3-in-1 because it's a vinyl player, it's a microphone. I can't remember what the other build is, but probably like a radio, something like that. Really, really good sets over in the Creator 3-in-1 lines. And I still think, I mean, Lego Star Wars sets, obviously, especially with people like me, and there are a ton of other of us here on YouTube and across various different social media platforms, any set is a 3-in-1 as long as you've got the ideas to turn it into something else. But I would like to see a few more Star Wars sets. I'm trying to think if we've had any in recent years, any Star Wars sets that are 3-in-1s, 2-in-1s. We've got sets like the X-Wing and TIE Fighter mashup. That's pretty cool because you've got the ability to switch the wings with each of the different ships. But I can't think of any other sets that we've got that have a 2-in-1 that you can just break down, completely rebuild with some Lego provided instructions. It's a good thing I bagged up these pieces because I did forget to put one in the front here. I can't think of any Star Wars sets that have a similar feature to those. And I would like to see that incorporated into Star Wars. You see through creations that not just us as fans make, but there's some on Star Wars, I guess shows like Rebuild the Galaxy kind of work to that extent. They take a ship, but when it's digitally done, you don't need to know about the pieces. You just need to have a few common ones on the screen, and you know that's good enough for a show. Belfast now getting a Lego store, the first in Northern Ireland and the third on the island of Ireland after the two in Dublin. I didn't know Northern Ireland didn't have a Lego store. That means Belfast will have to be another one that I get in my passport stamp. I was going to do that actually. I've got all the London stores and I got a few from the south, like one or two from the south of England. But I would love to get all the stamps for England stores, then do like Wales, I guess Ireland, as there's three of them. That could be quite a nice trip. And then go up to Scotland and get all of those Lego stores as well, because I think that'd be really cool, collecting all the ones in the UK. And I guess the sooner I do it, the fewer Lego stores I'm going to actually have to spend some money in, because they've kind of changed the rule. It depends what store you go to. Some Lego stores allow you just to get the stamp for visiting, for popping in, and some Lego stores do require a purchase. They're getting a bit better with what they do and don't allow in Lego stores, but you know, we're getting there slowly but surely. Lego have made some real progress in the last years when it's come to like treatment of adults and how adults welcome big banners in stores, really like that for the make and takes. And actually, today and tomorrow there is a Valentine's heart gift, make and take, gift with purchase. I don't think there's any Valentine's gift with purchases because they were running at the end of January, but Road Trip to Ireland does sound really nice. But there's a little love heart Valentine's make and take, which is pretty cool. No real exclusive pieces, quite a few nice ones in red. If you're building anything in red, it would be nice to get a few bonus pieces, of course. But we've already had, hello there, CT Productions over on Twitch. We are building the Invisible Hand. I would love to add this to the title, and I'm going to play around with Twitch over the next week, try and get it a bit clearer. I guess I could have put up an image for you. I'll do that next week or Thursday. When we're building the Mos Eisley Cantina, I'll have an image up for you Thursday. But thank you for joining us over on Twitch. Nice to see our first, well, I mean, technically we did have the moderator over there last week, but our first actual viewer over on Twitch. Welcome to the channel. And if you do have to go at any point, I don't know how long Twitch holds these videos for. The full thing's over on YouTube. But yes, last week, we built the Acclamator, which I've since turned into the Venator, which you won't have seen if you're over on Twitch. I mainly modified the wings, but there were a few other things that we did, especially around the top and to expand the underbelly. And of course, for Revenge of the Sith's 20th anniversary this year, 20 years since Revenge of the Sith. Thankfully, I'm not too old enough to remember those 20 years too well, but we had to add Anakin and Obi-Wan's nearly said Ahsoka's eater onto the front from the opening crawl, where we also see, funnily enough, the Invisible Hand. I'm building a little bit of a display for Revenge of the Sith and Empire Strikes Back actually this year. Hopefully a ton of mocks to come out as well for both Empire Strikes Back, Revenge of the Sith, and you know what? Let's throw The Force Awakens in there. It's going to be hard to do any sort of sequel-themed sets, but... well, not sets. There's a ton of sequel-themed sets, thanks to the sequels coming out when they did. But in terms of mocks, it's definitely going to be a bit hard to work around something. But I would like to do something for Force Awakens. I feel like we can't just ignore 10 years. That's a big milestone from all the Disney movies. So maybe I'll do something that combines a whole bunch of them, because we do also have, I haven't revealed this, I think channel members might have got an early look at some of these over on YouTube, but we do have another Filoni clones package, and who knows, maybe later on in this stream I might tease a few of the minifigures we've got to come, but there'll be a video out in the next couple of days unboxing them, because there are some really, really nice minifigures in that case. If you're unaware, Filoni Clones has been on this channel quite a few times, not themselves, but in terms of the minifigures they provide, really, really cool. Not made themselves, but you know, that they provide quite nice minifigures. The minifigures they provide are ABS made, but they're not top tier quality. You're not spending £30 for a minifigure. You're spending £3, which is a tenth of it, and still getting minifigures without the heads getting stuck in the helmets, without the legs and torsos falling off, loose arms, cracks on legs. So that's why I personally shop through Filoni Clones, but there are some really, really nice minifigures in there. If my voice starts going at any point in this stream, I'll try to keep up with chat. Do forgive me, I've been talking so much these last couple of days. Daniel says, I think they've been to all the Lego stores in Scotland, Glasgow and Edinburgh. Again, only 2 stores. It surprises me how many, I guess because England's so big, but there's so many Lego stores in London. Once you're outside of London, Lego stores are not anywhere near as close together. They've also been to the 2 in Dublin, being the Grafton Street one. Oh, one of the 2 in Dublin being the Grafton Street one. Yeah, I don't know why I don't go to more Lego stores. I think it's mainly just the traveling. I like to, sit back, build Lego from the comfort of my own home rather than traveling. But if I'm ever near any of the Lego stores, you can guarantee I'll be popping in. I actually got spotted last week. What day? I can't remember what day it was now. I got spotted in my local home base as well, which was really nice. So shout out, Ben, if you're watching this stream. Shout out to you. And yeah, that was a really, really odd feeling getting spotted out in public, because especially being online, you don't get to speak face to face with many people. So when you do bump into someone that already knows you, then it is quite a nice feeling. England, only Liverpool and Manchester they've been to. So in England, I've actually got my book down here. I keep it in one of, when you order bricks off the online Pick a Brick service, you get these bags, and it fits the passport perfectly, because whenever I go out, you can guarantee it will be raining, and I don't want to ruin this passport book. But I've been to quite a few different stores, all the London ones, like I say. So we got Stratford in Westfield, we got Leicester Square, Blue Water, Southampton. We've also got, is that it? We got Blue Water, Leicester Square, Stratford, Battersea. I'm missing out. I feel like there's another one as well. There might be another one that I haven't. No, 4 London stores, and then also the Southampton one, which was the one I was thinking of down south. And take a look at some of these stamps, because we've got a platform 9 3/4 one here for Harry Potter. The CT Productions over on Twitch. I believe the first video that they watched on my channel was the Clone Trooper video. Was that the Filoni Clones one? That was a lot of money spent there, but I'm really happy that I filled up the clone wall with that, actually. And there are at least 2 more clones in this new bundle, so keep an eye out for that video. A few Harry Potter ones, the Pac-Man one as well. Who remembers when the Pac-Man set came out? That's quite recently. I've only been collecting these since 2023, these stamps, because I didn't realize it was a thing beforehand. But we do have from Westfield this exclusive space stamp. Take a look at that. There's no ring around it. It was when Lego were doing Across City, Across Friends, and all the rest. So that's it. 2 pages. Pretty decent, to be fair, for, well, it's now coming up to 2-3 years. I need to get the 2025 one. But when they were doing the space thing, they launched Across City, Across Friends, Across Creator, and Technic. And I think they might have done a few classic sets as well for space. They did a big space thing in store. You could get a stamp, but Stratford's was the only one that didn't have the ring around it. So that was quite nice to get an exclusive stamp of it. Could have asked for the stamp, but want other people to get it. Of course, it was the Clone Wall video where I sorted it out. Oh, I think that was a bit more recent than it. I'm happy that I did sort it out as well. So a lot of these clones, yeah, I'm going to get sidetracked a lot in these streams. If you are new here, I do apologize, but my attention is about as easy to keep as a giant UCS set on the shelf behind me. There's just no chance it's going to fit. But for this Clone Wall, we've got a bunch. For anyone that hasn't watched that video, I'm just going to quickly summarize it. You gotta go watch it for the full effect. We've got some 501st, 332nd, and it tries to bleed from Lego Phase 2 into Lego Phase 1. We've then got a few custom minifigures as well that I've made. Now I've added The Gingerbread Clone Trooper added the custom clone pilots. I'm trying to remember all of them without looking at the board. I think they're the most of them. And then we've also got Filoni clones, clone troopers, basically the whole left side up to Boba Fett, and then had to include Boba Fett's for my clones of Jango Fett. But it's filling up quite quick. We did have 3 spots for the new clone pilots because I haven't yet bought the ARC 170. We only have 1 spot left, so I'm going to have to print some hexagons, especially with the 2 we've got over on the side. But it's so fun collecting clones. What's the best custom clone seller for someone in the UK? Honestly, it depends what you're after. So on the videos, I got a few people. Oh, I can't. It was Blue Harvest Bricks, I think, are the official reseller. One of the official. They're a official reseller, an official reseller. That's why I was slipping up on it in the UK for Clone Army Customs and for Grandpa Clone Customs. Don't have them all. Do have quite a good selection. But you're looking at high-end, sort of £30 minifigures. Filoni Clones sells the cheaper customs, usually a few different characters as well that someone high-end just hasn't got round to making. They start on whatnot at £3 bids. If you are catching them at a really good time, you might be able to get £1 bids, but do not tell them I said that. It's usually when they're clearing out a few of the less popular characters. But yeah, Filoni Clones is really, really cool because Sam over at Filoni Clones actually has them in person, so he makes sure there's no dodgy dealings. I know recently a few videos have gone, I don't know if they're viral, and I don't know if they've just hit my page, but of Clone Army Customs specifically, and their figures breaking, because even with Lego, they're only going to hold up to so much. So if you put too much force in them, you are going to break a Lego fig. And if you're breaking a figure worth £30, if you are playing with them, I definitely recommend these. And by playing with them, I mean like mock building, any level of play. I recommend these cheaper. £3 a fig, cannot be beaten. Some of them go for a bit more if they are popular, but Sam's also got a website where he sells quite a few of the popular clones. I think Bly's on there. I think Doom's on there. I think there's some 501st, 212th, and maybe some 95th Coruscant Guard. Definitely check them out. I think the link will probably be in the description of one of my videos, but there's a video coming out and I'll whack the link in that as well. But for custom clones, a lot of them do get very, very expensive. And it's interesting to see. Obviously, it depends how much people are willing to pay. And for Lego, that tends to be quite a lot of money. But I'm definitely of the mindset that I'd rather have... How much money did I spend in? I think I must have spent... I spent over £50. I probably spent about £75 initially on my first wave of Clone Troopers. And I got so many clones. They were like £6 a piece compared to spending £75 getting 2 Clone Army Customs or Grandpa Clone Custom clones and maybe a few accessories. I do like more clones for cheap, if that does make sense. Not too cheap, want them to be good quality, but some of the 360 printing on those clones is really, really nice to look at. So yeah, definitely give them a test. You don't have to, dive in, buy 1, buy 2. If you stick around on the streams, actually, I got, I think, 2 free figures, because once you buy something, you get entered into buyers giveaways on whatnot. And that's a really nice way, especially if you can get in early before there's a lot of people buying and there's like 3 of you in the giveaway. It's a really nice way to get some bonus minifigures that perhaps you wouldn't pick up normally, but there's some really, really good ones. I got, a while back for my Lego City, I got a Fanta Lemon and I think it was a cola bottle or a Sprite bottle minifigures, which are the favorite drinks of me and my partner. So really, really lucky that I was able to pick up both of them. There are some really, really interesting minifigures, mostly Star Wars, mostly clones. It's in the name, Filoni Clones, but there are some other minifigures as well. Halloween, there'll be some Halloween ones, so stick around, you might be impressed. Speaking of minifigures, actually, it's a point I said with the Acclamator. I am still surprised these midi-scale ships don't come with minifigures, because it's not like the helmets where they are, the helmets don't really work with a minifigure. You could definitely add one to it on your own display, but from Lego's standpoint, you've only got the helmet. It's not like it is a ship that minifigures are in. It's a helmet that, fits a head. Oh, we're there already. So it doesn't really make sense well, it doesn't make sense to not include them. It doesn't make sense, like, there's no real preference for including or not including minifigures with helmets. But for these ships, you know, Grievous, we could have got Grievous in the Invisible Hand. So I think that's the big thing. Any other, I wasn't complaining too much with the Acclamator, but the fact that we could have got Grievous with the Invisible Hand, I'd love to get another Grievous. Back to CT, what new Star Wars sets am I most excited for? So I don't think I explained this well at the start of the year, but with this year, 2025 specifically, for some reason, I thought it was a good idea to basically go every other month without buying Lego. I realize if you jump forward ahead, June is in the non-buying Lego. What I mean by this, January I bought Lego for the January wave, then February. So far, I'm yet to buy any Lego because I ended up parting this set out. Then March, I can pick up some more Lego. April, which is my birthday month, so it makes sense I wouldn't be buying Lego anyway. May, buy Lego. June, it means June I wouldn't be buying Lego. And this was all a tactic to actually get more built on the channel and more MOCs built, because I found out last year and even the year before, I've been buying quite a few new sets and not building everything I want. February, I had it lined up every other day. I'd be building a MOC hit on the channel. This is a long way to beat around the bush of what sets I'm excited for, but I just want to build more MOCs every other month. So come May, I mean, March, I'll definitely pick up one Lego Star Wars set, but May, with that gift with purchase, I'm probably going to go straight through lego.com and pick up most new sets with really cool minifigures, most old sets I haven't picked up. The Duel on Peridea isn't new, but I am excited to pick that up because later on in this year, we're rumoured to get, shout out to Grievous over on YouTube, later on in the year, we're rumoured to get a battle pack with the Clone Troopers, or the Storm Troopers, not Clone Troopers, the Death Troopers. I think there were 2 Death Troopers and 2, I can't remember what they're called. Can anyone remember what the names of the Stormtroopers from Ahsoka are called? They're specific, they're Night Troopers, are they? Something like that. I'm meant to be getting a battle pack with that. I think that could be really cool. I'm trying to think of what other sets we've got coming out. We've got the AT-AT driver helmet in March. That does look pretty cool, but I don't think I'll be picking that one up. And besides that, I'll be completely honest, I'm not really following well any of the rumors, because I like to see sets when they're announced by Lego, you know, come out on the site and take a closer look. It definitely adds to that surprise factor. We've got a MTT, or multi-troop transport, built in 3 studs, and then also just down here, you see this red dot, there's a yellow dot just next to it. That is Anakin and Kenobi's Eater aboard the Invisible Hand. That just goes to show how big the ship is. The fact that the MTT isn't 3 plates, isn't 3 plates tall, is actually only 2, because one of those plates is recessed. But for the new Star Wars sets I'm most excited for, Order 66, basically. I really like the look of the battle pack, or the sound of the battle pack for Ahsoka, but I'd love to see anything from Order 66, some Ki-Adi-Mundi with his clones, Aayla Secura. I'll be honest, the Jedi are, you know, hit and miss. I don't know if all of these sets I would want the Jedi that has been slaughtered with, and I think that actually as a playset could be a bit morbid for Lego to include a dying Jedi, but I would definitely like to see a load more Clone Legions, especially if it fills up the wall, because with this brand new display behind me, which I've only just touched on, but again, there is going to be a longer video out tomorrow. I'm planning on extending this another 4 or 5 sections up, and it's still got room to go down. So we've got a ton of clones we can fit. So basically, any Lego set that includes a clone trooper, I am going to be all over that. ARC 170, Ahsoka's Eater. The ARC 170, by the way, here in the UK, £5 off at most places. Decent deal. Hasn't pushed me to buy it just yet. But I think, yeah, any set with a clone really tickles my fancy. Even if it's like the UCS Venator. I debated it when it came out for Rex, but Rex, they couldn't leave exclusive. I thought they would change a few more bits when they added him to the Micro Fighter, but they didn't, which I'm really happy about, because it saved me buying the UCS Venator. And similar for, other clone troopers. We got one with the UCS gunship. So the fact that that was then, I don't think it was the exact same clone trooper. I think it was a little different to the one in the battle pack. But I think, yeah, not yet. But not yet for a deal on the ARC 170. It has been Smith's very, very short-lived. It's a place here in the UK. It's an online shop at least. And I think I might have seen it on Amazon or something briefly pop up. But I'm expecting that to be a lot better. I assume Smiths have had some really good sales on it. So already put it on sale. That was end of January, which was after a couple of weeks. So they must have had some really good sales to be able to drop it so quick. But I'm expecting it to go a little bit lower in towards March even, not even May. The last 2 years, I believe I'm right in saying, we've seen some really good deals as soon as March, which for last year, March came out, what sets come out in March? I think Boarding Attentive must have come out around March time. And by the end of the month, that was almost straight on sale. So it doesn't surprise me that a few of these sets are going on sale, but yeah, definitely keep your eye out for some sales before March, because that's probably when you'll get the better deal. Well, no, you might get the better deal in May. It depends what gift with purchases are running, but sometimes Argos, I know, are really sneaky here in the UK. They put sets on sale just before May 4th, and then prices go right back up again for May 4th, and they try and everyone that's celebrating May 4th, celebrating Star Wars, you got to pick up some sets, and they each have their own gift with purchases. Argos was really nice, actually, because last year I got this key ring for the 25 years of Lego Star Wars, same one that was available on lego.com. But Argos I think this was available with something like £40 spend, but it was available also to buy for £5. And I'd like to see more of that this year. I did just throw it on the floor. That'll be all right. That definitely hurt my heart a bit, but I would like to see a few more gift with purchases available for sale. The Polybag always is, which again I have already built behind me. The Millennium Falcon Polybag from this year, the stand is going to be sold separately, but I'd like to see a few more of them actually available to buy. Lego did make the Palpatine's office set. They have no Smiths. Oh, see, I have to be near a Smiths. We do love a good Smiths, especially with all the deals on. Have seen it in B&M. B&M have been really good recently for some of the larger sets going on sale. The only problem is with a B&M, for any of you that haven't been in a B&M, I don't exactly know how to explain how it's laid out. It's not, well, at least in my experience, they're not the most organized stores. It's sort of everything's just on a shelf. There might be a tag by it. There might not be a tag by it. They're just all over the place, filling gaps. And when it comes to Lego deals, yeah, I haven't been successful in a B&M, but there are some really, really good finds if you do live exactly chaotic. And yeah, it's hard to find deals, but I'm sure if you come across them, the deals they have, some of the prices, especially when they're getting rid of sets, are really, like with anything really, once they're trying to get rid of a set, really, really cool prices. So I definitely recommend giving it a go if you live near a B&M. Again, the problem with a B&M, I feel like, is there's no real online site, or at least not one that I found. And it is a case of go in, check, is it in stock? Is it not? Ask a few people and just hope that someone has it or someone knows what you're talking about, because it is hard to research. Smith, you go online, you have a little look, and you can usually find what it is you are looking for. Unlike the piece that I've bumped into. Oh no, found it. No problems this week, hopefully. But yeah, the big problem with B&M is the lack of a website. If they had a website and they had it, I don't want to say organized, because I feel like it is pretty organized, but you know what I mean. If they had a website you could check and reference, check if it's in stock, I think it'd be even harder to find Lego sets on sale at a good price. We've got another little window. Can't really see through this one, but the MTT and the two eaters, I like how the eaters are just the top parts of the studs sticking up to make them even smaller. That is really, really smart, and it matches our interior to the Acclamator, which is now a Venator. Used to be thousands of clones, now is, I guess, 4 gunships on either side, trying to repurpose that for the new build. But yeah, let me know also in the chat. There's a few of you in here. What are your favorite stores to pick up Lego? Because I think I would say that Smith's is one of my favorite stores. I'll have to think on it, make sure I'm not going to regret this answer. But I think Smith's is my favorite store to pick up Lego. You know, Lego's up there. The service you get in Lego cannot be built. It cannot be built. It can be built, actually. You can build your own Lego store. It cannot be beat by many, if any, stores. But I do think Smith's, because Smith's is more accessible, you know, there's more Smith's all over the country, and wherever you go, there's usually, I can't say there's usually a Smith's nearby, especially when CT Productions has said they're not near a Smith's, but there's usually a Smith's closer than a Lego store, I think I'm right in saying, unless you live right near a Lego store, I guess. But I just feel like Smith's is a lot easier. We went to, I think it was when I picked up the ATT, actually. Me and my fiance went to Harry Potter World up in Watford. And what do you know? Not too far by, there was a Smith's. So we stopped in there. The ATTE was 25% off, and I lugged it all the way across the other side of London back home because it was just way too good a deal to pass up on. But yeah, I feel like Lego stores are fewer and further than something like a Smith's. So having Smith's, it's a solid choice, I think. Very, very solid indeed. Have we... Is this... Oh, yeah. CT Productions is lucky because they have two B&Ms, but the small B&M is very messy. But the big one's very organised. Oh, that's solid. Favourite shops to get Lego is Asda, Argos, if lucky, Morrison's and Sainsbury's. If you are in the members Discord over on YouTube, you will know that Morrison's have recently answered my prayers and redone the Lego aisle. It wasn't bad, you know, there were a few new January sets in there, but it wasn't great either. Let me reorganise the screen. It wasn't great in my local Morrison's, but they've finally patched it up and got it looking a lot better. So I'm so happy for that. But Asda's is solid. Asda's have really updone themselves recently. And I'm not sure if it's to do with like a change in ownership, because Asda's toy aisle used to be owned by Entertainer. Don't know how public this knowledge is. I somehow remember it. And Entertainer have now moved into B&M. So Entertainer own the B&M toy aisle. Probably own both, to be fair. I can't see why not. Entertainer are doing well for themselves with their acquisitions of, I think, Early Learning Centre as well. They've sort of absorbed into the Entertainer, which is another UK store. I don't know if Entertainers are worldwide. I don't know if any of these are really worldwide, but the Entertainer, yeah, sort of spread out into B&M, and Asda's have really done themselves up. It reminds me of what I see the experience in like Walmarts and Targets in most America stores, where you've got the cages, the cases of Lego sets, and they're all, you know, locked up. You've got to ask someone. I don't know if it's to stop shoplifting. Is it really that bad with Lego? They are getting really expensive, these sets, and also aftermarket prices, and that they're, I don't want to encourage stealing, but you know, they're some of the more valuable things that can be stolen. Definitely don't steal your Lego, because it just makes prices go up even higher. But it is odd to see them behind lock and key, especially Lego and all the toy aisle. But they've got some really good designs and displays in my old Asda. Actually, it's not even in the local one. No idea what my local Asda is, but Asda is a good one. So Daniel over in Ireland, don't have Argos or Debenhams. Oh, Debenhams is a name I haven't heard in a long time. I don't know how many Debenhams are still open. For Lego, Smith's would be the best. Some other shops have small amounts of Lego, like the Eason's Bookshops. Bookshops are a shout, actually. Waterstones used to be quite good for the odd little Lego set, because they had loads of discounts on them. Tesco's and Art and Hobbies. Tesco's is another place, actually, with club card deals and stuff like that. You can get some really good prices on Lego, especially Star Wars. I will admit, Lego themselves have some really good discounts for city sets. That city spaceship that I am hoping to pick up, probably closer towards Black Friday, but you know, we'll see if there's any deals before then. But there's a new somewhat modular spaceship that Lego have come out with for the City line this year. It turns out it's exclusive to Lego.com here in the UK and Very. And Very are kind of good when it comes to deals, but I don't think they're necessarily the ones you want to get exclusive rights to sell a ship, because their deals usually rely on someone like Smiths, Amazon, to bring the price down, and then they'll go like £5 cheaper, if that. But it would have been nice for someone else. I'm lucky. CT Productions Morrison's Lego is tiny, and the Entertainer is in Tesco's. Oh, so I wonder if Entertainer are just, spreading their wings. Tesco, Asda, they're collecting shops like the Infinity Stones, Tesco, Asda, B&M. They're going to buy out Lego stores next and just, absorb the Lego stores, and all we'll know is Entertainer. That would be nice, because I have quite a funny story actually with Entertainer. I don't know how many of you were collecting when the first 501st Battle Pack was in stores. It seems like forever ago for me, because I think it was during lockdown, or it might have just fallen at the start of lockdown. I feel like it was a few months into lockdown for the rest of the world, maybe not here in the UK, but it might have been just at the start of lockdown, and it made it really hard for everyone to find the 501st Battle Packs. But my local Entertainer, not just the 501st Battle Packs, mind you, but also the AAT, the Ahsoka AAT, which was almost just as hard for people to find because of that 330-second clone. Both of those were in abundance in my Entertainer, and I don't know why. I ended up picking, I think we counted the sticker sheets that I still had. I have 6 of the 501st Battle Pack, only have 1 of the AAT, because there's only so many Ahsokas you need. We've already got one in the Maul set as well, but yeah, my Entertainer was crazy. And then it sort of hit a patch and wasn't doing any sets. It was a struggle to find any Lego Star Wars sets, because they were moving it around. I think it was around the time they absorbed the Early Learning Center, and the Entertainer over in Kingston, by the way, if anyone's near it, that used to be my local Entertainer for quite some time. And then they expanded the store, I think, twice now since we've left. But yeah, it wasn't the biggest, so they sacrificed a lot of their Lego sets. It's also where I picked up some Lego tape. That was very, very interesting. CT started collecting clones because of the 501st Battle Pack. Look at that, but couldn't get the AAT. Yeah, it was a very odd set, because I remember the 501st Battle Pack came out 15 minutes before midnight. I was there watching the whole thing on Lego.com. Don't even remember if I bought anything at the time, but I was watching on Lego.com when it came into stock, and went 15 minutes early, I think it came into stock, and went straight out of stock, which I don't think even Lego could have predicted with the hype. They were probably, rewarding the people that got there early, put a few sets up, straight out of stock. By the time you could hit refresh, you didn't need to refresh. It changed in front of your eyes. But then we got it refreshed at midnight, so they had a few more to put on, which makes sense. A couple minutes later, out of stock. By about past, it had come back for back order like 2 or 3 times, and also then gone out of stock. They back ordered it for a month, then it come back 2 months, then it come back 4 months, and they just couldn't restart, and then it was like out of stock for the next month or so before they got it back. And then a lot of stores couldn't get rid of it towards the end of its lifespan. But the AAT came into stock, went out of stock, and as far as I'm aware, that was it for quite some time. It was a struggle, and then there's a lot of panic, especially I know from personal experience. If you're trying to pick up a set, it goes out of stock, and it's hard to find in stock. You do start thinking, well, will I ever get this set, and how long before it'll come back into stock and you can get the set. So I think it did create quite a bit of panic with both of the sets around the time, and that's definitely helped their price for the aftermarket. But you don't see too many people trying to resell them. There are an abundance of these clone troopers. Both helmet holes are not on sites like Bricklink, and the price is reflective of how it went down when they were being sold through Lego. But it's really interesting to see other figures that are way more expensive and really don't have as much of a juicy story behind them. I'm sure that won't be the last time we've got something like that from Lego. I'm sure, for all we know, right around the corner, we could get a very similar set later this year. There might be another Clone Trooper Battle Pack that everyone's excited for, sells out very quickly, and Lego know what they're doing. I ordered last summer, I think it was, when I picked up the Ghost. I pick up so much Lego that I really need to keep a track of this, because I can barely remember what Lego I picked up recently, let alone a year or so ago. But like, you get the ATT Walker for Christmas. That's an awesome Christmas present. Yeah, there was a few sets that I saw growing up that I really, really wanted to get. ATT was up there. Even the Ghost, missing out on the first Ghost. Weren't a massive Rebels fan. It was a lot of money to spend, but as soon as it showed up in Ahsoka, definitely knew I had to pick it up. Just don't have the blue clones of either curse with. Yeah, let's make sure I'm not cutting off all of that chat. But ATT Walker was one of those sets I remember seeing a few times on shelves in Smiths, actually. My nan used to take me into Smiths when I was young, and seeing those expensive shelves the expensive shelves, I'm sure the shelves were expensive. Seeing the expensive sets just out of reach, I knew at some point I'd have to pick them up. I've got a gunship now, an ATT Walker, the Ghost. I don't know how many other sets. Oh, a Millennium Falcon as well. There were so many Millennium Falcons. And even like X-Wing and TIE. I remember nearly 15 years ago now, my brother got the X-Wing for Christmas. I got the TIE Fighter. And that was really, really cool. And Lego don't make a load of X-Wing TIE Fighter sets anymore. It would be nice to get a few more of them. They're not exactly in demand, I guess, with so many of the other ships and how many times it's been done. But wouldn't mind seeing a few more of them. But there are... yeah, I think that's pretty much most of the sets. ATT Walker, Gunship, the Ghost, the Falcon, and like the X-Wings, the typical ones. And I tell you what, the Turbo Tank does look really cool. If Lego release a Turbo Tank this year, that will definitely be... CT doesn't have blue clones in their army, so now they have a multiple coloured army. Imagine an actual Clone Legion that's like rainbow coloured. That would be quite cool. But yeah, we definitely need more clones. Filoni Clones is really, really good for... Shout out to Filoni Clones, not sponsored or anything, but really, really cool for getting different legions, because Sam usually stocks in not just like one Wolf Trooper. Sometimes it can't be helped if they are popular and they're going quicker than he can restock them, but does stock like 5 of each different legion. So if you are trying to build armies of each of them, if you want just one minifigure, that's fair enough too. But if you are trying to build up, a wolf pack, so to speak, or 327th Legion, an actual Legion of Clone Troopers, really, really cool. Just the bidding wars when it comes to Ki-Adi-Mundi's Clone Troopers. Definitely go back. I don't know how much I captured in the original. I think it was like 90 minutes. How many Clone Troopers could I buy in 90 minutes? So I restricted myself to 90 minutes. Definitely have to when you've got so many clones at your fingertips. But yeah, with the blue, orange, white, and red, that's pretty much all the basic colors. You got blue, orange, white, red, green. We need more green Clone Troopers. I've got a few of Filoni clones, and there are a few legions. I guess the Doom Legion is almost perfect, because you got that little bit of yellow as well on Doom himself, and then some of the other green and other bits on him. Yellow, you've actually got a choice, because Filoni Clones has some 13th Legion. For this is basically just free advertising for them. Really, really good. Again, not sponsored in any way, but definitely go check them out if you want to improve your clone army. I cannot say enough good things about them. No qualms here from me. But yeah, 13th Legion from Fallen Order as well. I've got a few of them through Filoni Clones. So definitely give them a check out after this stream. Maybe in a different tab. I don't know if Twitch has a mobile app, but I assume you're on the computer. Another tab, you quick Google of Filoni Clones, and yeah, you won't be disappointed with all the clones they've got to offer. But there was another store, Tau, I was going to venture down, and I can't remember what it was about. I think we spoke about Entertainer, we spoke about Asda. Only so other many stores. Actually, I probably bought Lego in a load of stores. I need a passport for non-Lego stores as well. But I had problems with these pieces last week. These 1x1s with the stud on the side. Hopefully we don't have that many problems with them this week. But, you know, time will tell. We'll have to see. But in terms of Cardiff is Ben's local store. Yeah, I definitely have to go around to a few different stores. There's an event as well near me. Well, I say near me. It's all the way over in Southend. So I can't give away exactly where I am, but, you know, rough location. Over in Southend, there's I think it's the National Brick is coming in March. And I might go to that, actually. I think that'd be really interesting to go to, because as well as Lego stores, getting into some of the exhibitions and seeing all the Lego sets in there might be really, really cool. And I definitely will document that if I end up going. On mobile, that's interesting. I guess there probably is an app. There's an app for everything, isn't there, really? Should have gathered that. YouTube, Twitch. Where else? We could stream on, I saw when I was doing the cross stream, because I am on both YouTube and Twitch, I could also do TikTok. Might do that eventually. Don't feel like that'd be as interactive, but that might be good for spreading the channel out just a little bit. But so far we are building the walls of, I don't know how clear this is because there are some trans blue elements just along the top, but we're building the walls of the ship, and I'm really intrigued to see how this goes. Well, I know how this goes together. This is going to clip just here. In fact, we could probably get away with clipping it just now, but the detail on making this fit, because the panels go just up against the previous wall panel that we've built, and it's so close, but it's just so flush. It's really, really nice designing from Lego. I mean, Lego already have some amazing designers. They basically have an actual design team. I know sets aren't too different from something like a house. There's a lot of different designing that goes on, but in terms of the level of design, it's really, really good. I have a miscolored piece here, but hopefully that won't be noticed from the other side. But yeah, definitely going to continue working with, hello there, Captain Rex, welcome to the stream. Definitely going to continue with these Filoni clone purchases. Couldn't recommend them any more. But I've noticed in general, actually, prices for custom minifigures have started to drop. So I mentioned Grandpa Clone Customs earlier and Clone Army Customs. They're big Lego custom creators, which you probably mostly know. But I know some of you won't be as big with the custom game. I definitely wasn't until not too long ago. And yeah, Grandpa Clone Customs have started dropping their prices. I've seen a few of their new figures, 20 odd pound, still pricey, but for the quality of the actual figure, it's starting to get, I think Firestar Toys as well have done quite a few customs, and a lot of those are in the 20 to 30 pounds price range, and I prefer that to spending, you know, 30 to 40 pounds on the other end of the spectrum. But I will have to definitely make a purchase at some point. Their Firestar Toys, actually, their Night Sister, oh, Merrin, is it, from the Fallen Order games? That was a very, very close purchase. That was a really, really cool minifigure. And to go alongside my custom Cal Kestis as well, if I don't end up buying that and that ends up going out of stock anytime soon, I might have to try and recreate something as close to that as I can. Because again, there are so many sets that Lego just don't have the shelf space to make for Star Wars. So customs really do fill in the gaps in the market there, and there's just not enough. There's not enough sets to come out to have all these minifigures in. So custom minifigures are really cool for keeping the game going. And there's just so many characters, side characters. Everyone in Star Wars has a name, which is really, really fun, but also means it's really, really expensive when, you know, you're spending 30 odd pound a minifigure. So for the last time this stream, I won't mention it anymore, but Filoni clones, you want custom minifigures, go check it out. Back to the Invisible Hand and Revenge of the Sith. We've already spoken about, you know, like sets and that we want from Revenge of the Sith. So we could speak a bit more on it, but I'd rather speak about sets that perhaps couldn't be made from Revenge of the Sith. I was thinking about this the other day with, I think, Empire Strikes Back, because we've already found out that basically every single set from Empire Strikes Back that could be made into a set already exists in some sort of Lego form. But how many sets couldn't be made? And there's the obvious, I'm throwing it out there, Anakin and the younglings. Probably couldn't be made. It's too morbid of a set unless they do it as part of some... Yeah, I don't think Anakin and the younglings set could be made by any means. But how many other scenes is there in Revenge of the Sith that just couldn't be made for one reason or another? Maybe it's just impractical to make in Lego, but how many sets couldn't be made in Lego? Even like the March on the Jedi Temple, it could be done in Lego. It would probably be more of a gift with purchase, but that can still be made in Lego. I mean, for Kenobi, we got the Kenobi v Vader fight that was just a bit of rock work. They can definitely give us a set that's just stairs. But in terms of sets that couldn't be made, I don't think there's really much else. There's sets that Lego aren't doing, like Utapau, for instance. We've had a few Grievous starfighters and other ships which have droids from Utapau and vehicles from Utapau. But Utapau's mainly just a landing platform in terms of the actual scenes, and there's not really much Lego can do with just scenes when it comes to brick building. But even that, I would definitely love to see some sort of Utapau creation, even if it was just a bridge or a walkway. And it's something that Lego could still do. So is there anything that... Nothing really comes to mind. Nothing came to mind for Empire Strikes Back. I didn't end up making that into or adding that into the video, but there's got to be something other than the youngling scene that Lego can't do for Revenge of the Sith. Because I guess anything that can be thought can be built with Lego, but there are some things that, you know, even Lego can't do. And that's not to say someone else should come out and do it. I mentioned Mattel. For any of you that don't know, Mattel are launching a brick theme, a brick building company, which isn't too big a surprise because they already have Mega. So they could just launch... They have Mega, and then they also have a bigger Mega Bloks. And I can't remember what that's called, but that's Mega something. So they could just launch Mega Micro, which is just, you know, regular size for Lego. But they've already been doing... Mega have already been behind a ton of really good sets for Pokemon. If you're a fan of Pokemon, Mega already have a ton of sets which have similar bricks to this size. In fact, we got free Pokemon builds from Smiths for... I think it was like World Play Day or something last year. I can't remember what that's for, but we got some free Pokemon, and they're really, really cool builds. Some of the different pieces, because they're not like Lego where everything roughly is based off squares and circles. They make custom bricks and just put them together how they like. So it's interesting seeing the different pieces that exist in Mega's catalog compared to, say, Lego's, for instance, because they're kind of competitors, different themes, so it's not direct competition. But if Hasbro and Lego are competition, then yeah, Hasbro, Mattel, and Lego are sort of like this holy trilogy of competition in general when it comes to action figures and different toys. I'd love to see Mattel trying to a younglings build for Revenge of the Sith. We could definitely get Jedi Temple in the style of Yavin. We've already seen it, and I think that could have been a test for it, but I think if Lego were working on a Jedi Temple, we'd have seen it in rumors already. And you never know, end of this year, you might come back to this video and we'll be celebrating because we have actually got a Jedi Temple build. It'd be nice to get a UCS one. I guess this is the half of the ship that falls off in Revenge of the Sith and that isn't flying and does not have another happy landing. But I think there's also something at the bottom, actually. Isn't there a little sticky out bit, a little slope that sticks out the bottom? Something like that. We might be building that next. I can't remember going through this. I remember odd little bits here and there. Oh, what did I say? This is the sticky out bit right at the next step. Had I just flicked to the next instruction. But where were we with Smiths, with Mattel? Yes, I didn't realize just how many themes Mattel already had. They have the license for a few Disney sets like Cars and I think Toy Story as well they own licenses for. But all these licenses and all the talk on licenses is really, really confusing because different companies, have different licenses for different things, and someone might own the like with Star Wars CMS, for instance. Lego owned the Disney license to make Star Wars sets, but Hasbro owned the license for Star Wars minifigures. And it gets a lot of people, myself included, confused about just what companies can and can't do with these different themes, because I guess the devil's in the detail, but none of us are actually reading the full contracts. That don't look too bad. It's just a little bridge. I don't remember what this is. I don't think it was the Invisible Hand. It might have been the Malevolence, when Padme and 3PO were on the Nubian craft and just, following closely behind where they jumped out of hyperspace into quite clearly a trap, but they just didn't know it yet. But I'm interested to see what Mattel do, if they are a competitor to Lego at all, if they can get close to the Lego hands, which, is going to be definitely a big task, big shoes to fill when it comes to trying to square up to Lego. But hopefully they can provide a few pieces that will make MOC building a bit interesting for some people. Don't know if I'll delve down that road, but I'll definitely be keeping my eye on it. Did I pick up any of the Lego Transformers? Oh, we'll get into the new ones as well. I haven't picked up any of the Transformers. My partner's dad has the Optimus Prime, I think it is, and he might also have the Bumblebee. So I've seen Optimus Prime, played around with that. Really, really good Lego sets. The way they make it so they can actually transform, they could have done them as 2-in-1 builds, but Lego did it so you can actually transform one into the other. I think for Optimus Prime, the bumper of the van has to be taken off, but besides that, it transforms. It's really, really cool, and I'm sure Bumblebee is the exact same. But I've also seen the brick heads for the Transformers, Bumblebee and Optimus Prime. I think there's rumors right now of a Starscream like big build, not just a brick heads, but an actual build of Starscream. I'd love to get Megatron. I think Megatron could come before Starscream, but getting both down the road wouldn't be a problem either. But for the brick heads, the fact that you get in the twin pack one of standing up Optimus Prime and one of the van, and then same for Bumblebee, is so cute, getting the two of them in the same build. It would have been cool as well. I think personally I'd probably only display one. I don't know if I'd put Optimus and Lori Optimus with Bumblebee and Car Bumblebee, or if I'd want like two of them. I guess you could split them up, two on your desk, two on your display in different orientations, or one in one room, one in another. But I really like the brickheads as well as the actual bots. I'm not too into Transformers, but I did really like the X-Wing mech, Luke's X-Wing mech. I made a custom MOC of the parts of the mech turning into an X-Wing. I think they could have gone a little bit better and had the arms maybe split and the legs come together for the nose of the X-Wing. Turn the actual mech into an X-Wing itself. It would be so, so cool, but that was a big missed opportunity. There's still room for them to do something like that. I remember having, again, I think my brother got the X-Wing and I got Vader into Vader's tie. They were Transformers that Hasbro did quite a few years ago, probably like 10, 20 years ago now. And they were really cool. For Lego to do something like that, Star Wars Transformers would be really good. There's nothing stopping me doing that. I will have to add that. I have a sticky note for all ideas, and I think I've put this up before. All ideas that I speak about during a stream, I try to jot them down on a sticky note, and then I'll be able to do them later. So let me just put down Transformers. That will remind me to have a look at that. I did go to build, it wasn't a Luke Transformer. I think it was when the first ones came out. I think I tried building a Boba Fett Transformer. It was way too hard using just the mech and the little micro fighter, I think it was, that came with Boba. Almost impossible to do. I'm sure someone could do it, but not me, not at that stage. That was, I think, the first review I posted on this channel, a little short with Boba's mech, Boba's micro. Because then we also got the mechs like a week early. That's another thing. Don't tend to get a load of early sets. At least not locally. No leaks in Morrison's anymore, which there used to be way too many. My local Morrison's, you could almost guarantee it'd usually be the day before, the evening before they put them out early. You could almost guarantee that the sets would be out before their release date. Don't know if it was a plot to get more people to buy them or if they were just running out of toys to stock, because the toy aisle hasn't always been the best, and wanted to get a few of the fewer tomorrow sets out a day before. But yeah, I haven't really seen any early sets for ages. Not in my local Morrison's, but the Star Wars Transformers would be cool. Back to Starscream. I don't know how big Starscream's going to be, because I think Optimus retailed for something crazy like 200 or 180 pounds, didn't they? And then they reduced it to 160. I remember seeing it for Smith's for 120. I don't remember if that was a further reduction. That might have been a really good sale. But then Bumblebee was around that £100 mark. Starscream, looking a bit on the thin side. Not much, density to Starscream. At least not the one I'm thinking of. But wonder if they'll try to build it up again. There's such a big Transformers fan base. Lego can just keep making these Transformers, and as long as they pump them out, maybe even every other year, every couple of years eventually, so that it's not hurting the wallet too much, I think they could just keep going. But I guess it depends if Hasbro decide to roll out a competitive competition. Competitive, I think, was the right call. Competitive construction, brick-based building system, because then who knows, would Hasbro or Lego get the rights to Star Wars or Marvel, Transformers, all of the other ones, but mainly Star Wars. Star Wars is the one I'm always interested in. They probably still would keep it split, because that's where the most money is to be made. No point combining assets. Might as well keep the competition good for business. Was even Marvel. So Marvel with their mechs really pushed the fact that joints could be swapped. Star Wars, not so much. I didn't see that pushed at all with the mechs. I'm sure there was some advert I missed out on, but Marvel really pushed the whole swapping limbs and combining different mechs, which is why I picked up more than one at the start. But it'd be interesting if they could transform what they'd transform into, because you've got like Iron Man. Iron Man's mech is arguably closer to Iron Man than anything else, so there's not really anything for that to transform into. Could play around, could have a bit of fun, add some wheels and create some cars, Marvel like that. But Star Wars, you've got the ships. Yeah, it'd be harder to expand that to other themes. Maybe that's why Lego haven't thought of it yet, because Star Wars we had Boba Vader, Stormtrooper, and then we had Luke. This year we're rumored to get Maul. Don't really know much on that, but saw someone make a Lego Megatron. I've seen so many people here on YouTube make the little Transformers, and they're so cool. I really want to start building them, but I've been building all of the little space robots from City and Friends, and I barely have space for them. There you go. There is an Iron Man car, so they could have the Iron Man mech. I guess that would work, transform into an Iron Man car. Make it easy for them to make a load more Marvel mechs, just following the same pattern as mech to car. It would be really cool for MOCs as well, because then anyone would be able to put together a mech / car. They could do it with Star Wars. They could really make cars out of anything. But yes, Marvel's a bit more down to earth, so to speak. So everyone does seem to have either a car or jetpack boots, or in Tony Stark's base, both. Why not? Jetpacks. Well, not jetpacks, rocket boots, I guess, more so than jetpacks, but had a car as well. Because why not when you're Tony Stark? Actually used, I don't think the short's coming out for a few days, but some of you may remember when I made the Doom minifigure for my unit, I used Tony Stark's hair to signify, I think it was around the release or the announcement of Robert Downey Jr. playing Doom. Do we think Doom will show up in Fantastic Four? He's got to show up in Fantastic Four. For any of you that might not have seen, they did release a Fantastic Four, I think it's called First Steps, Fantastic Four First Steps trailer. Looks really, really cool and revealed the big bad of the movie. I won't spoil it in case you haven't seen it, or if you are waiting to the movie, that's fair enough as well. But they did announce the big bad in the trailer, and it looks like it's going to be a really, really good movie. I'm excited for that. It might actually get us. We were speaking actually, I think it was last week, might have been the week before, about going to the cinema and how it doesn't really feel like there's a lot to go to the cinema for. We are considering, me and my partner, going to the cinema for Fantastic Four because it looks that good. And we might go, you know, because it's around July, nice summer day out, spend the day out. It costs quite a bit. We are already paying for Disney Plus, but it looks worth it. If anyone else has seen it, feel free to let me know what you think in the chat. Again, spoilers, I guess be careful of spoilers in case we do bring up something that, you know, is a bit of a shock in the trailer, but I'm not going to try to spoil anything, so just keep your eyes out of the chat. I don't know what other Marvel movies we've got. Star Wars, we've got April for Andor for April, and in May with Visions. But my partner pointed out Super Bowl, can't remember when that was, so hopefully she can remind me in chat. But if you are unaware as well, my partner is moderating the YouTube chat. I'm trying to stay on top of the Twitch. She's helping out with YouTube. Can't remember when Super Bowl is, but it's coming up, which means some more announcements for other shows, movies. There's a few Star Wars ones that we probably could get coming out, especially with Andor on the horizon. But yeah, I don't really know what else we're waiting for in terms of announcements. Oh, tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow. I could have remembered that. It's not too far away. But with it tomorrow, I wonder what other trailers we'll be getting and other sneak peeks into shows that we're waiting on. Because besides Andor, I mean, recently we've got Fantastic Four First Steps. There could be another clip on it, but how many new trailers are we going to be getting? We got Fantastic Four recently. We've got Jurassic World. We've got a few other little movies that I have completely slipped my mind. But I wonder what we could get announced tomorrow. I think I'm missing a few chats in Twitch. Notice the bar. CT said, I mean, they built Megatron to be in scale with Optimus Prime. Oh yeah, I was speaking about the mini ones. That's, I think the biggest mock I've built. Oh, there's about to be a real big one that I'm working on. But I've built like a Lego City that's more gradual. The biggest mock I have put together is probably the AV7 Cannon, the life-size one of that. That was pretty boring. The AAT was good. Not the perfect shape, but you know, it's quite hard building in a bigger scale. So that, I'm sure that looks really, really cool. And I wonder how quickly Lego can make mocks actually to scale with, like how Lego can make sets compared to how mock makers can create them, because Lego take years. CT is going to watch a Minecraft movie when it comes out for their mate's birthday. I was planning on watching that for my birthday actually, because it comes out around April, and I don't think I can miss the Minecraft movie. I mean, it's a movie that people have been talking, and there are a few little, like, you know, YouTube videos of Minecraft movies where they've just played Minecraft for so long. But I think I've definitely got to go see that. If not, in cinema. The thing is with like Minecraft movies and other movies like that, this is the complete wrong length, is it? But yes. The thing with Minecraft movies and other movies that aren't, you know, Disney based, basically Disney based, you know, it's coming to Disney Plus. It's just a matter of how many months. But the Minecraft movie not being Disney makes it a bit hard. Don't forget to check out the merch as well. Over on YouTube, should be just below this video. On Twitch, hopefully I can add the link to it. But with a Minecraft movie, it'll be a bit hard to wait for it to come to any sort of streaming service, because there's no guarantee of it coming to really anywhere. I mean, I think it's Warner Brothers, which might probably have its own streaming service by the time, you know, the movie comes out. But I think they usually come out to Netflix, but gotta go support it in the cinema. It's the same with the Tensive Boarding last year. The set was so good, I had to pick it up day one. And I think something like a Clone Turbo tank, for instance, I'd have to be showing my support, picking it up day one, paying full price and saying, yes, I want more of this. Whether I would want another Minecraft movie, we'll have to see afterwards. I'll probably do a little video on my thoughts after seeing it at the cinema. But yeah, Minecraft movie, Fantastic Four. We're finally getting back into the cinema. Well, I'm finally getting back into the cinema after however long it's been. Now the Waterfish thinks about it. Star Wars doesn't really have any serious additions other than the Legos recently. Yeah, I guess there's not really been much in terms of content for Star Wars. You've got like Lego have been tackling. We got one at Andor set. We've got at least three Ahsoka sets. Four Ahsoka sets, I think, actually, because we've probably got a load more than four Ahsoka sets. Four that come to mind. We've got the Onyx Cinder from Skeleton Crew, the Snob Fighter. We've got a load of Mandalorian sets. They do really, really well. So I guess we're never going to not get any more Mandalorian sets. And yeah, we don't really see that much. I mean, Funko did one line of like 5 characters, I think. I think they had the 4 kids. No, they've done a few more. They did the 4 kids. They did Jod. Jod I've got just off screen. And they also did Kim, the owl the owl-looking creature from Skeleton Crew. Black Series. I don't know what Black Series have done. I haven't been keeping tabs on Black Series. But even with like Kenobi, we got a few Lego sets. We got one Lego set for Kenobi. We got a few Black Series figures. They did a wave of them. And I think they also made a few. Actually, Black Series did really well with Kenobi. I think they did a few retro figures for Kenobi and might have done a few of. They've got the Black Series there, which is their main line. They've got retro. And I think they've got another one. They've got another line that they did for Kenobi. Yeah, there's not been a lot that we've got, I will admit. So, hopefully we can see a bit more. But again, in terms of Star Wars content, I'm not sure it's quite sequel level. Loads of companies invested in merchandise and making Star Wars content for the sequels, which started to sell really well. Force Awakens merchandise sold really, really well. But then as it got to the other movies, I think the hype around Star Wars did start to die off, which didn't mean much for fans, but for a lot of people buying merch, they weren't just fans, but they were family members of fans that, all they were talking about is Force Awakens, Rogue One, The Last Jedi. The Last Jedi was so controversial, that merch sold really, really well. Then we had Solo, might not have done as well. Rise of Skywalker, I definitely remember seeing so many of those sets and so many sales as well, that if I was in a position like I am now, where thankfully this channel is funding so much of the Lego we're building here, and I hope I'm building pretty much every new set live here on the channel, or at least trying to this year, so that you can experience the real joy of Lego with me. Yeah, I think we'd be streaming a lot more, let's just say that, because there were so many good sales for sequel trilogy sets, and yeah, they just weren't selling like all of the others. If it goes on like this, the Black Series movie merch repeat cycle will just go on. I think when it comes to things like Star Wars, thanks to us, who, let's face it, we all probably went to the cinema quite a few times, if not per movie. I'm not saying, we all went as many times as I did to The Force Awakens, but if we all went to the cinema for The Force Awakens, Rogue One, Last Jedi, Solo, we also got the Rise of Skywalker, which is the 3rd sequel. That's 5 trips to the cinema. That's a lot of money that Disney then, absorbed from everyone and was able to push that into so many different shows. Whereas now, I do think that Disney Plus is absorbing quite a bit of the potential profit, but it also means that because Disney are putting a little less money, Mandalorian's still costing a lot, and that's making that back in Grogu merch alone. But because they're not getting as much money from ticket sales and that, merchandise is being relied on a little bit more, which is seeing less of an effort into making, really, really good Lego are on top of their game. But as far as a lot of other companies, Black Series especially, we've seen recently a few of their minifigures are reusing joints and designs and parts from older minifigures where they don't have the time to put in and really focus on these characters and make them the best way they can. So they're starting to reuse aspects, and it is sometimes coming back. Most people really don't mind about this sort of stuff, but for the people that do, it is hurting that brand to fan relationship, I think. But in terms of movie series, I think something that Disney have done really, really well with Star Wars, and I know this is both a pro and a con. It's a pro to people getting into Star Wars. It's a con to people that are a fan of Star Wars, because if you look at was it the 80s, 90s when we got like I was around at the time when there was the Droid series, Ewoks and stuff like that. They were all aimed at a very similar audience. Prequels come out, similar audience. Clone Wars, Rebels, Resistance, very similar audience. Whereas now we've got shows like The Mandalorian. That's one sort of Western audience. We have shows like Ahsoka that sort of tie into it. But then we have Kenobi, which was heavy on the prequel fan side of things with what they were trying to do. And all the little Easter eggs, especially all over the screen, and the names that popped up. And then we also had Andor. Andor's a completely different. Andor's more of, I don't know how I'd describe Andor, but it's very different to Mandalorian, Mandoverse, shall we call it, Ahsoka and that, and all the CT Productions wasn't able to watch the Star Wars movies in cinema. I think it's very, first off, the atmosphere in cinema, it wasn't as good. It's one of those things where, you're passionate about something, so your memory is going to be turned up like tenfold what it was. It's one of those things, same with Endgame and with the other one, the Infinity War. I saw both of those in cinema. Because I'm not as passionate about it, I don't remember it as fondly, but Star Wars, my first Star Wars movie I saw in cinema was The Clone Wars, and I spoke about that last week as well. But there was something about seeing a proper Star Wars movie, a live action Skywalker Saga movie was quite cool. But you can now get that at home on Disney Plus for a lot cheaper. So it's very hard. It's good because, I can flick on a Star Wars movie at any point. If I weren't streaming right now, what I used to do when I was building Lego is I'd have like Revenge of the Sith on, for instance, because that's the movie that this is from. And it's nice to have that ability just to flick on a Star Wars movie whenever you like. But it does also mean, it does on one hand mean you got the movies anytime, but also means, we're seeing things like all of the other shows coming out and how quickly they're pumping them out. I think they could definitely be going a little slower with them. Waterfish said, true, but when people do get into Star Wars, they'll eventually become a fan and get affected as well. That's the problem. Star Wars right now is they've got so many fans that are loyal, especially with the sequels. They weren't treated the best way. I think they were done really, really well. I can't say they were done really, really well. That might be pushing it a little bit, but I think they were done decently, at least, with the situations, with the directors switching. And you could tell there's just a little bit of a bump in the road across the three movies, especially in terms of where the story's heading. But I do think their approach, Disney's approach, Lucasfilm's approach, is just to get as many people into Star Wars. Because once you're into Star Wars, it's not the easiest thing by any means to, stop being a fan of. I put that on the complete wrong way. But once you're a fan of Star Wars, it's very hard to be lost. You look at what Star Wars has done over the years. A lot of fans have stayed loyal through holiday specials, through director changes, and yeah, it's an interesting thing to look at from an outside point of view, which I don't really have an outside point of view because I've been there for most of it since the prequels. But it's odd that they're bringing in so many new fans, and then they do fall into the same cycle, because then the new fans are wanting so much and they're catering to so many different audiences. Clone Wars catered to most audiences. I can't say all, but Definitely a lot of them. CT Productions can't tune in next Saturday as they'll be in Italy. Oh, have fun in Italy. Don't worry, I won't be here next Saturday. I'm instead actually going to be streaming on Thursday, 12 midday here in the UK. I don't really know what that is elsewhere, but hopefully you'll be able to Google it. I'm doing a day stream building the Mos Eisley Cantina, which is going to be fun. The giant Master Builder set. If I say UCS, just ignore me. I get the two mixed up this whole time. I've still yet to build a UCS set, but there'll definitely be a UCS set built in, well, I think 10K I've promised a UCS set built. So I'm looking forward to that. And yeah, Thursday, very busy on Thursday, no problem. I'm sure you'll probably be able to catch up on it on demand on Twitch as well as YouTube, wherever you feel comfortable watching it. And I hope it's going to be a load of fun because it's going to be a really, really long stream. But yeah, it is awkward with Star Wars because they're trying to cater to everyone, but in trying to cater to everyone, they're going to lose some people. And I'm sure some people have stopped watching because of not just choices made in Star Wars, but because of the style of content. You look at, I guess, Star Trek is another brand that have branched out and started doing a load of different shows, a few kids show, a few adult rated shows. I think we're yet to get that in Star Wars. That could be a bit brutal. Just Anakin. I tell you what, that would, if they do it R rated, but for blood, gore, and just Darth Vader traveling the galaxy, killing a bunch of Jedi. The comics on that, I read a lot of the Vader comics. They were really, really cool. But I think like a really gruesome show with Vader just going around wreaking havoc, because it's easy to fall into Vader's just misled, he's being manipulated by Palpatine, but Vader actually did a lot of really gruesome things. You see it with the kid in Kenobi. We saw it in Kenobi. He just snapped the kid's neck right in front of everyone, just toying with him. That's nasty. But I think getting a really gruesome Vader show is actually high up on my wish list. But yeah, Star Wars are playing the fine line between drawing everyone in and trying to keep everyone happy, not just entertained, but keeping everyone happy, not doing as much fan service or pleasing people just by doing one or two different cameos and stuff like that. Again, I'm pretty sure these pieces were. Oh no, we do have these pieces. I thought they were bright yellow. They're not translucent yellow. But I like the way Star Wars is moving on from some characters. I saw in Skeleton Crew, everyone was happy that 3PO didn't show up on behalf of Princess Leia and rescued the kids from Mon Mothma, or Wim, was it? Was Wim the fuzzy head kid didn't go off and train with Luke Skywalker in place of Grogu and stuff like that, because we have got quite a bit of that, especially in like Ahsoka and Andor. We've got a few names. Hopefully Andor season 2 wraps up the stories with Mon Mothma and a few of the other characters, because they showed up and I don't know, they Mon Mothma helped Luthen's storyline. I feel like Luthen could have been either explained in a comic, or there are other means of showing off those sort of characters. A bit like Kira from Solo when we got the whole comic line with her. That was really, really cool. I do feel like sometimes the characters are introduced and it feels a little bit like, oh, watch Andor because Mon Mothma has half the episodes. It does feel what are your thoughts on some of the rumors? Sets like the MTT. See, this is why I absolutely love having all of yous here. All of yous are welcome. The MTT, I haven't heard of an MTT set. I'm not staying away from these rumors, but an MTT would be amazing, because we haven't got an MTT. Ooh, when's the last time we got an MTT? It's been way too long. I don't remember the last time, but I think we really need an MTT on our shelves, because the droids that could come with it. We could also get a few clone troopers. That could be quite cool. But the droids. So thank you, Captain Rex, for bringing that to light, because I know about the Maul-Mech, I know about the battle pack, and I know the turbo tank. I think I brought up earlier. trying to think of what else I've seen. I've probably already seen so many others and just completely forgotten about them. But yeah, MTT would be really cool. I wonder if we got an MTT and dependent on all the other Lego sets we got, whether they were like Clone Wars, because as of Attack of the Clones, the droids started going into a grey and blue color scheme. So would we get an MTT in brown, or would we get it with blue? Clone Wars with Aayla Secura and Commander Blyett. So I assume, yeah, it'd be a blue one with Secura and Commander Blyett. That would be really, really fun, because not only could we get that, that would work for like a Felucia mock, say, but then we could also get a 327th Clone Trooper battle pack, and wouldn't need Blyett, wouldn't need Aayla Secura. That would be really, really cool. That's definitely up there with my clone battle packs and my Stormtrooper battle packs. That would be a really cool set. CC Productions over on Twitch. Have I made my own custom minifigure before? I actually have, and I have arm's reach. Okay, I was expecting myself to fall down. I have the first minifigures that me and my fiance have made, or made of ourselves, off the Build a Minifigure wall. There's a few different, touch-ups here and there with a few different part changes. I think mainly I've given myself some short sleeves, because Build a Minifigure doesn't tend to have dual molded arms. So I've swapped out the white sleeves for dual molded arms. And we've got these. We've also got a ton of different minifigures actually of us. I think in Hogwarts, which is now in my partner's office, we've got our own Hogwarts students. We've got our own Jedi, and I'm a Jedi and my partner's a Mandalorian in Sabine's armor. I think we've got our own Marvel figures as well. I think I'm probably in a Spider-Man costume. Got a few of those minifigures and really love Spider-Man. I don't know about my partner, but yeah, we have a fair few amount of custom minifigures. If you're looking at going all out on a custom minifigure, I definitely recommend, for at least a one-time thing, if you can get to a Lego store that has a print your own minifigure, that is really, really cool. So definitely recommend trying that out if you haven't. But I mean, there are a load of websites as well that you can customize yourself a little bit more than you can at a Lego store, but you actually get to design your own minifigure. They're in person, and I think the experience adds up. Seeing it printed, I so want a UV printer. Very nice. Made their own custom today, based off the YouTuber master builder Jeff Villan. Can't say I can't say I really recognize many YouTubers by their names, because even I tend to call them by their YouTube name. But that's pretty cool. I still haven't decided for members. I was going to build members and add them to the city. We no longer have the city. So what I'll have to do is, next time I'm building like a really big mock, I'll have to have a feature where you can like donate or something with parts of a minifigure, and I can use in the mock. I think that would be really, really cool. Or at least channel members do something where I can actually contact and design the minifigures, because I do like custom minifigures. I've got a handful, none in reach, but I've been redoing my background, so my minifigures are all over the place, some behind me. Custom minifigures, it's an art. It is really an art for custom minifigures, and just trying to design characters from, not even humans actually, Kim from Skeleton Crew, the owl, the eagle character, was really, really difficult to transform from a somewhat miniature humanoid shape into a minifigure form, because not all parts transfer well. But yeah, definitely, if you can get to a Lego store, the Lego store, I can't remember what it's called. Pretty sure it was like minifigure printer or something like that. I have Minifigure Factory, of course. It's on the box. You get a nice little box. You can design your own torso, print that off, and then you get to pick up legs, a head, a hairpiece / helmet, and an accessory from the Build a Minifigure wall. So if there's something that you like on the Build a Minifigure wall, now's your chance to go. But it's a really, really fun experience. You get to, it's a bit bit like drawing your own. It's less, there are a few custom designs there, and dependent on like the season, you can get a Christmassy one. And so, not sure if they're available year round, the seasonal ones, they might be. But you can also draw your own design, hand draw, and get it printed, UV printed on a minifigure torso. So it is really, really fun. Right, we're getting to work on the front of this, and I will say, I thought this was going to be tiny. I didn't think the invisible hand would actually be sizable, let alone longer than the acclimator. I mean, we haven't finished building yet, but it's sizing up to be a little bit longer. But yeah, definitely, if you can get into a Lego store, the minifigure factory is really, really fun. Just designing your own, go ham with it. You can print both sides of the torso as well. I can't remember how much it is. It is a bit pricey, but I think it was like 15 quid for a minifigure. Maybe that's wishful thinking, it's a little more, but I think it was about 15 quid. And for a UV printer, for me to get one from a very prestigious UV printer company, £6,500. Thankfully, I don't have the space for a UV printer behind me, but if anyone wants to sponsor me here on the channel with a UV printer, I will happily shout you out. I'll do more than shout you out. I'll 3D print a custom minifigure if you're willing to give me one of them. But yeah, some point down the line, I'd love to get a UV printer to actually print customs. But for now, decals and stickers are definitely fine if it saves me a bit of money. There's one in one of the London Lego stores. Yes, me and my fiance printed minifigures. I think it was for a video actually. I went in and printed a Yoda. There's a famous Yoda that's really hard to get from a New York, oh, is it New York Comic Con? Or I can't remember exactly, but it says I Heart, on New York I Heart. So I went in and I printed a torso because it's on a white torso. It was London I Heart, something like that. Obviously a London version of it. Really, really cool. I really still like that minifigure to date, but I did it for a video. Really, really fun to do. And then we also got, my fiance did a Christmassy one, which we hang on our tree every year. But yeah, it is, which one? It's the Leicester Square store, I believe. I think there's like 8 different booths, because whilst we were there was one of the staff members that really, really helpful in pretty much any Lego store. So that's a whole other conversation. One of the staff members was doodling their own design, and yeah, had a really interesting conversation about the actual Yoda minifigure, because they had no idea about the I Heart, New York I Heart, which I guess makes sense. It's quite a rare figure to get your hands on, unless you go looking for it or you see someone talking about it on the internet, which, hello there. I guess you probably wouldn't have heard of it. I probably heard of it first hearing someone else talk about it on the internet, so now I'm passing it on to all of you watching at home. But speaking of, so that's London's Leicester Square, the one sort of centre of London, which is also the biggest, no longer the biggest Lego store in the world. I think it's Sydney's Lego store got regenerated, shall we say, and is now a little bit bigger, but it's still one of the biggest in the world and is a really, really cool one. They keep up doing it as well and adding little bits here, there, and everywhere. So even if you have been there, if it's been a few weeks, you can go back and be surprised by something else that they've got. But with with Lego stores in general, the staff there always really, really nice, really, really helpful. And yep, completely lost track again. Can't remember at all what I was saying. I can't remember now. Oh, there's a really good point. It'll come back to me in a few minutes. But hello there again, Daniel. Oh yeah, Daniel's been here throughout. I don't know why, but it was the profile picture that threw me off. Favorite build in a Lego store? Oh, I tell you what, Stratford always have a cinema full of, well, I say always, most of the time. I don't know if they do always have, but most of the time they have a cinema filled with minifigures. They put the new BAM minifigures on there. They usually keep a few. I think last time I went, which was a couple of weeks, well, not a couple of months ago now, but probably about Halloween, and they still had a minifigure with the giant gold Hagrid hairpiece on. So they keep adding to that. There's a few other mock builds as well that Lego have started advertising in stores, which is really, really nice. Who knows, maybe one day we'll have a a little mock build built in a Lego store. Other than that, I think I like the fact that there's a load of sets, but definitely the cinema in Stratford. It's just bricks built in like a staired fashion with walkways in the middle and a ton of minifigures there. It looks really cool and kind of, I guess, what I'm doing with my displays behind me. So I have to take note of that. CT remembers when they went to the Lego store with their granddads. Grandparents and Lego stores just made to be really fond memories. And the set that they picked up, the staff who were serving said that they had the same set, the first Iron Man Armor Hall. I actually, the Iron Man Armor Hall, oh, that's a good point. Iron Man Armor Halls come back in probably the biggest way. That's a really, really cool set. I wanted the Armor Hall and I built the, I think it was the Malibu Mansion that I got a few years later or earlier, dependent on the version of the Armor Hall. And I tried building an Armor Hall out of that from Tony's basement because basically had all the pieces. It kind of was a section of the Malibu Mansion, I guess, that was like the Armor Hall, but I converted the whole thing into it. But I still have my very first Lego set, the Lego Star Wars set that I picked up with my nan in a Smith's because those memories cannot be beaten. It was the Clone Walker Battle Pack. Still have all 4 clone troopers, not cracked, because, and this is something with Lego figures, if you're standing them up, no worries cracking. But because these sit down on all 4 studs, this is what you're going to have to be worried about with cracking. Again, we're speaking about rare situations here, so don't rush to your Lego displays. They'll be all right for the next couple of minutes. But the reason so what I do to stop these cracking is it's only the front, the bottom studs here that are actually not crackable. I guess anything's crackable under pressure, but you know what I mean. The only ones you got to really worry about cracking. So I replaced the bottom bit. I don't even think there was anything there. I added a 2x2 with the 2 studs for the bum cheeks of the clone trooper just to sit them down. But yes, grandparents, Lego stores, Smith stores, meant to be. Really, really good memories. My nan always took me to the Stratford Lego store as well, which is my favourite, partially because of those memories. And I would always go to the Pick a Brick wall, fill up a cup. Still have my cup behind me, actually. Take back 75p discount. Those were the times. But with the Iron Man Armor Hall, there's a brand new set. Let me see if I can get up the number of it. But there's a brand new Lego set that is coming out, the Iron Man Armor Hall. And it's part of a bigger theme. I can't remember exactly what the title has, but you remember the Hogwarts sets. If you're a fan of Harry Potter, you'll know Hogwarts sets have Hogwarts Castle, and then it will be like the laboratory. I can't remember any of the names of the rooms, but we've got Iron Man's Laboratory, Hall of Armor. I think that means we've got a few more coming. We've got all the minifigures in here, mind you. So this set comes with, what does this set come with? The Mark 1, the Mark 43, the Mark 6, Pepper Potts, Aldrich Killian, Dummy Robot, and Igor's Iron Man Mark 3 mech. Movable arms and legs, yada yada. But this, if you know the Iron Man Hall of Armors, they're all modular, so you can buy multiple, build them up. And I think this is going to be part of a bigger Iron Man's Laboratory. So I'm really intrigued to see how many. This comes out April 1st, not March. But I'm really intrigued to see, dependent how this sells, if there will be any more of it, because that could be really interesting to see other people build up. Daniel always used to spend way too long deciding what set to get in Smith's for their birthday. I know I definitely spent way too long. Before Lego, I mean, the first Lego set I remember picking up and buying is actually in my Lego City down here. Lego City might be gone, it's just shrunk down and is out of sight. This little car, look how tiny, it must have been like 7 odd quid, but I really, really like this little car. It's got a backpack or a briefcase that actually fits in the back of the car, not studded down, held in, I guess, a little bit by the bricks on either side. But this tiny little car, and then of course the Clone Walker. But building them, my nan and granddad had some really soft carpet, you know, laying down on the carpet, building the Lego. Surprised I didn't lose any of the pieces in the actual fibers of the carpet, but really, really good memories. And also, I was really into a few different other toys. I remember there were little sumo. I don't know if anyone here was into Ben 10, But Ben 10 had, and there was a few other themes as well, had these little sumo figures. You'd get like 6 of them in a pack, and you'd get a round dish in the middle, and then you'd put them on, and you'd stand like you and someone else would stand one in the middle, and then you'd just like tap the case. This was just a plastic case as far as I'm aware, but you would smack it and the first one to fall over loses, something like that. I'll try and find an image, and who knows, this might even make it into a short, because I've been making a few of them. But yeah, the Pick-a-Brick and Build a Minifigure stations, that's where I spent a lot of my time, especially in the Lego store, just trying to decide what pieces, and not even what I wouldn't even be filling up my cup all the time. I'd just stand there and stare at all the pieces, hoping one day, I could get a Lego draw system just like the Pick-a-Brick wall. And to be honest, we're pretty much already there with the drawers that I've just rearranged. So happy with how they look behind me. But yeah, really, really good memory. Smith's Lego haul. CT says the new Iron Man armor haul comes with the blue and red War Machine. I noticed that the Iron Patriot. I don't know what mark that is. I don't know if that's like the 47. I assume it's a little bit later on, but it doesn't say what mark that is on the website. So who knows really? But oh, it's Mark II. It might be a bit more obvious to Marvel fans. I don't remember too much of that. Thank you for that. ZT said it's Mark II. So it's interesting all the different marks we're getting. I wonder how many marks we've got. I wonder if we're near completing them all, because I know there's certain things. Cheesy Studios, Minecraft YouTube, if you're into Minecraft, definitely check them out. But they did recently a video with all the Robert Pattinsons for the Twilight House, of course, all the Robert Pattinsons that we've got from Lego. And I think they've also done videos on the Minecraft sheep. These niche collections really, really interest me in how many of them we're getting. I've just connected that upside down, and that is such a smart connection. I got to remember that for mocks. But yeah, for a ton of different, like Robert Pattinson collections, sheep collections, Iron Man collections, there's got to be someone that knows how many Iron Mans we are still needing. And I know all of them haven't shown up in the MCU, so some of them will be needing to wait for like comic variations. There's a few more comic skins and video game characters that come into Lego, but it is going to take a little bit of time. And is this the final bag already? I could have sworn we needed a second one of these little skating accessories. There's nowhere to put it, if I'm being honest. So maybe this was a spare. Let me just double check that this is a spare before we move on to our display. It's a handy thing with having the list here, not needing to go through the end of the manual. I don't even know where this is on here. Small piece, should be able to find it. There is 2 of them. So where am I missing one of these? Oh, I'm sure I'll find it after this stream. We still need a few more Iron Man suits in Lego. I have to have a little look at that, because I only have the Iron Man 3 suit. I think I have 2 of the suits, because I got the Malibu Mansion, the helicopter, and the boat. I think a few family members teamed up and knew, which ones were getting which of the sets, and got me the entire way. That was really, really cool. I think a similar thing happened as well with a bunch of DC sets that came out. I remember getting a few Batman and like Superman, I think Man of Steel. Around the time of Man of Steel coming out, I got pretty much all the DC superheroes. So really happy to get all of those sets. But I'll have a little look at what Iron Man sets we need in Lego. That'll be an interesting take. Not saying that I personally would collect them all, but it'd be cool to make a few customs of minifigures we haven't. I've done for the Venomized Spider-Man is just Venom. For the Venomized Iron Man, they pretty much just added a I think it was a black arm, torso, legs, and then you've just got like one dark red arm to show that Iron Man's still in there somewhere. So for my second Iron Man minifigure, that one arm that was dark red in the Venomized Iron Man, I made as the Black Arm, similar to the Bounty Hunter C-3PO in Rebuild the Galaxy. I've got an Iron Man that just has a black arm and is my take on a Venomized Iron Man, which is, I guess, like the other side of Iron Man being Venomized. For this display, oh, have I got the LEGO Series 27 Wolfpack Beastmaster yet? No, but I'm looking at picking it up soon. So, for February, I did say about not picking up Lego, but there is a catch, because on Valentine's Day, me and my partner are going out for a meal right next to a Smith's. So if we, pop in there, decide to buy things for each other, there might be some Lego involved. And again, Valentine's Day, I think for the full weekend after that, I am very, very busy. So there won't be an update until like 2 weeks' time. But I will let you know if I end up picking up a LEGO Series 27, any LEGO Series 27 minifigures, but the Beastmaster is definitely high on my list. I noticed with the app, I checked my phone, I checked my pocket for my phone. My phone's right in front of me. That's how I'm recording this stream. But on the app, the Brick Search app, it limits you to 12 searches of minifigures. You can only scan 12, which I know there are plenty of apps out there that have unlimited, use the exact same feature, and I will be downloading them if I need them. But I wonder if that's 12 a day, if that's, I don't know if anyone else has had the Brick Search app, if that's 12 and then you need to go pro, because it's interesting to put a limit. Obviously they want to make a bit of money. It's a really groundbreaking feature, being able to scan these CMFs, and you can do it the old-fashioned way. You get the QR code scanned and it gives you a number and you can trace that back. But it is interesting too. Oh, CT got the Beastmaster minifigure today. I tell you what, everything about the Wolfpack Beastmaster is really, really cool. Might like to use the minifigure scan app, unlimited scans. Thank you for that, CT. I will be downloading that straight after this stream. The minifigure scan app. But it's interesting that they have limited it. But the Wolfpack, everything about the Wolfpack, the whistle on the face is really, really cool. The actual wolf that comes with it, I believe, is a slight, either an update or a complete new mold compared to, I guess the closest one would be the Husky. It's quite different to the Husky. But I don't know if that's just a recolor or if that's more as well as, like, more on top of the recolor. But either way, I am excited to finally at some point get my hands on it. Is this meant to be a 2x6 or a 2x? Oh no, I thought we made it this whole way without any sort of mistakes. I've gone and got a 2x6. I was so careful. So I feel like I've already gotten up this stream. Did I get up earlier? Is there already a mistake that I've made? Did I forget about a mistake? Anyway, I got a 2x6 instead of a 2x8. The good thing with my parts behind me, look how easy it is to just pull out. That's the wrong drawer. Look how easy it is to just pull out any section, go hunting for some bricks. I can't remember what bricks we need, so I'm going to grab these. And then it saves bending all the way down to the floor. All of these are arm's reach. It's a good thing the camera weren't on that, me putting my arm up like that. But all the drawers are in arm's reach, so I can just comfortably not have to bend down, not have to, go on tiptoes for the top drawers, though. I probably should mix around the drawers because all my 1x1s are right up the top. But it's a new model. So this is about the Wolfpack Beastmaster. CT Productions got it today. Perfect time for this stream. It's a brand new mold for the Wolf, much bigger than the Husky. Oh, I got the Husky. The Husky's been in quite a few, I think, magazines recently as well. It was the wrong piece. The Husky's been in quite a few magazines recently as well. And we got, I think it was in the City magazine. And we also got the Husky in a CMF with the Arctic Explorer, which I will be doing a little comparison, at least me personally, between the Arctic Explorer and the Wolfpack Beastmaster, because I do think they are quite similar. Well, they're not similar minifigures, but I think they're similar characters in terms of, the Husky and the Wolf. So the Wolf torso as well. I really want to get to a Lego store and get some minifigures for the Knights. And there's also, I think her name's Penny from the Old Adventurers theme, which I have I got one set from, one little promotional set from, and it would be cool to get her and the curator from the museum. But yeah, the Wolfpack, I tell you what, the Wolfpack Beastmaster and also the Pterodactyl. I'd really love to have the Pterodactyl because I've got the Triceratops and I've also got the T-Rex. And I think having a little Jurassic scene with them will just be really, really fun to build. So keep your eye out for that. That might be coming in the near future. And yeah, I think other than that, there's a few other quite cool minifigures. Let me get up the CMF line. Series 27. CMF 27. Because there are a few. This is the series with the Astronomy Kid as well, with the prosthetic. Really nice to be getting that. That's a brand new arm piece. Oh, brand new arm piece in Lego minifigures. But there's also the hamster costume as well, which is pretty cool. And I do like the pajama one with the two little plush. I was looking at getting all of the different plushes, but then I found out that one of the plushes, so you've got two of the plushes in the CMF. We've got a plush in the Lego Dream set. We've got, there's somewhere else as well. Don't know if that set's come out, but we've also got two plushes in Friends. So that's at least 5 different plushes. 5 different plushes that they got. And yeah, it adds up when you're collecting, because the Friends sets are like 18 odd pounds. The Husky and the Wolf are similar, bigger and longer for the Wolf. I think it has the same face and also got the Steampunk Inventor and the Jetpack Racer. Oh, let me get that tab back. The Steampunk does look really, really cool. A minifigure that I'm surprised Lego have. I think Lego might have done some similar Steampunk character, but that is really, really cool. And the Jetpack Racer as well. These are very, very interesting minifigures that, you know, Lego are really on top of it with, in terms of jetpacks, getting a bit more, I don't know if they're popular, but, you know, a bit more accessible to those with a lot of money to spend on like water jetpacks. And there's people testing it with the air. But yeah, really, really, even the pirate. The pirate's cool. The book monster's a bit creepy. Reminds me of the Minotaur from seasons past. And the cat lover. The cat lover, I've got to say, the cat lover should have had another cat. The cat lover's cool, but then it only comes with one cat. I can't remember, there was a minifigure, Crazy Cat Lady from the Lego movie, and I can't remember how many cats she had. I think that might have only been one cat, but there's got to be at least 2 cats. I think Crazy Cat Lady might have had 2, but might have also had 1, so I might be asking for a little too much. But, you know, more cats the merrier, I say. And also with the displays, I've added some black snot bricks. They're originally grey. I took the effort. I do actually own the pieces in grey, which is not something you'll find me saying a lot. But I've switched them out for black because it looks a lot cleaner when I've got a minifigure standing on them, to not have the gap out the back. And also remove the plaque from the front. I could have tried to get, actually I don't have any of the printed parts for this set because I was parting them out and didn't have enough time. I really thought I was going to be able to pick this up. Can't believe Entertainer have already discontinued it, but I was hoping to pick this up. So I don't have any of the printed parts for this display, and just in general, not really a fan of plaques. I think there might have been an exception to that rule. I really like the bricks. We've got just behind our minifigures, I'm going to put them over here with the Falcon, but just behind those figures you can see a Revenge of the Sith plaque, which I'm not going to mix across to this because this I think has the brick for 25 years, which is really, really, really nice brick, which I'm surprised I don't think I actually own, but I do own the 4x6 panel piece instead, so I'm probably going to use that in its place. And I might own the brick. I'll have to have a little look through my parts. I don't think I picked it up though. Very interesting. I didn't pick up that. I'm a big fan of those anniversary bricks, so might have to order that if I don't own it. But I'm going to add on one side the 4x6 25 years of Lego Star Wars sign, and on the other side I'm hoping to add General Grievous. How can they miss out General Grievous from this build? I still don't know. The perfect opportunity to re-release Grievous back into the wild, and Lego missed out. But I think they are too far gone. I don't see them putting minifigures on these displays anytime soon. But, you know, we can still hope. We can still hold out hope. And now, yeah, no idea where this other little like ice skating piece has come from. And I don't really think there's an easy way to spot it and find and replace it after the fact. All right, we're not going to be adding the plaque. We are going to be adding it's different. The connection's different to the Acclamator, which is only a 2x3 space. This is a 4x4, so that makes it nice and easy. And I believe it connects. Oh, didn't push that one in right. I believe it connects to this side. Nope, I'm not following along with this. How on earth? So that goes into there. This is. No, this isn't meant to be here. Is this meant to be here? I think this is meant to be the other way around. Otherwise, this doesn't fit on. All right, let's push this way. Yeah, there we go. Because then it's like there's one continuous stick for it. So this clips on this way. Yeah, that works out. That works nicely. We can have them then displayed together. And at least we're still flying half a ship with the front. Is it? Yes. Is it the front that? No, because they're up here. So it's actually the back. The front must snap off, send in. I'm going to have to rewatch this. I can't believe I built both of these ships and can't remember the scenes or the most popular scenes they're from. But as you can see, we can connect these two together just at the front here. Oh, this is that takes some putting it in. But for last year, for 15 years of Lego, which I think we realized was more 20 years of Lego, 15 years of Lego Star Wars, I built the Secret 2013 Malevolence set, which honestly was about this big. It was the length of the table I was recording on at the time, which got a little bit bigger since then, but let me turn that around for you. Same on both sides. This is the better side because I haven't changed any of the pieces. But the Malevolence was very similar to this, and it does feel the same, even with, we can get rid of the instructions now, even with the Invisible Hand being that little bit smaller, it's got the same presence as the Malevolence because of the detail. They've just packed it. It's like they've vacuum packed the Malevolence. Rather than having the giant pieces on the outside, we've got a load of little 1x1 slopes and 1x2 wedges and different pin accessories and stuff like that, which I'm happy that Lego are coming out with a ton of different pieces. There doesn't seem to be any useless pieces here. I guess the only exception, no, I can't say that. I'd say the only exception to the rule is they could have used a brick for this top bit, but I don't know if that would have looked any better because it would have just been that little bit less detail, but I'm really liking how this has looked. They moved to the front and the back was destroyed. Shout out CT Productions over on Twitch for being on top of it this stream and for really saving me for some of these moments. So yeah, they moved to the front and the back was destroyed and the front landed comfortably. I like how you said that. The front landed comfortably. Yeah, that's one way to put it. But snapping this thing off, I shouldn't have put my thumb there. That was on me. That was not on the Lego set. Don't put your thumb on the panels that are only held in by two studs at the bottom. But yeah, it's very awkward. The Acclamator had its nose, which was fragile. This has its little side bits that are fragile. And all I'm saying, on both of these midi-scale ships, all the fragile bits were connected to the 1x1 two-plate tall snot bricks. So maybe they're not the best quite yet, but Lego have got plenty of time to hone in on that. They're not exactly important parts. If you wanted to switch them out, my recommendations right away would be to use the 2x2s and to slot them in there with some rounded slopes off on the top because you can change that the whole way along. That might work pretty well and gets rid of those pieces, not just so you can get them out the model, but also so that you can use them for mocks elsewhere. There's 16 in this set. I think there was like 12 of them in the Acclamator, and we're still flying half a ship. I guess they're in this little green stud up here, the tile up here, and that's where they are when they land it. Again, this is being held on by 2 of the studs from the spot brick. Those snot bricks just have it out for me. I don't think I can hold that against the model. It's a really, really cool model. Very, very firm connection here. I guess they do it because it is holding this whole end of the ship. So they want it to be secure. You're probably not going to break it off too much. If you did want to play with it a bit more, I would recommend keeping the bricks sticking out on top, but removing the top 2 clips maybe. Maybe that'll help, or maybe removing 1 of each level. But now let's squeeze that in. There we go. I'm going to have Grievous on one side. I don't know where Grievous is at the minute because, like I said, my characters are all over the place. So, yeah, I probably should have prepared Grievous beforehand. But we've got the Invisible Hand. We've got the Venator. Look at that. We've got 2 Micro Eaters, Anakin and Kenobi, and a bunch of pieces that we ended up not needing or using. And I think you do also get another orange brick separator, which, looking at my Hello There mural on the board, I think we've got like 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 5 brick separators that have been 3D printed. I would like to replace them at some point. Today is not that day. We can keep the Falcon out. This Falcon is likely going to be possibly here in the UK. We all know what Smiths is, at least. We might not all be near a Smith. Sorry, CT, but we are all somewhat by a Smiths. Usually they have these as make and takes in Smith stores and maybe a few other locations as well. Definitely check that out, because if you can pick this up for free without going all the way to the Lego store, that might be pretty good. Save you some money on travel. But May 4th promos. So far, I'm pretty certain that this is going to be on the lower end, the Falcon. There's a video up on the channel if you want to see more. You should be seeing official images, hopefully, from Lego. Not soon, couple months' time. But now we have the MIDI scale Venator, built using the Acclamator, and the Invisible Hand. All right, I'm going to have to take a breather here and try not to build the next one. I really want to build the home one because we've got the home one display. The MIDI scale ship will go so well with it. I'm probably going to part it out over the next couple of days, but I'm going to hold off building it for a couple of weeks. Maybe we can slot that in with February. Like I was saying, just before we wrap up the stream on Thursday, we're going to do a really long stream, maybe even 2 streams, building the Master Builder Series Mos Eisley Cantina. That's going to be a whole load of fun. And then also we've got how many other Saturdays? Because February only has 4 Saturdays. We've already had to build in, I can't remember. We built the first Saturday, and then we built the Acclamator last week. We built the Invisible Hand. No, the first Saturday was the Acclamator, of course. Second was the Invisible Hand. Next week, we're building the Cantina. We might be building the home one, and then we've got March, which means brand new Lego sets, so stay tuned for that. Thank you so much to everyone joining. Special shout out to CT for protecting me, and hello there, Juicy Cheese, for just getting here to the stream right at the end of it. Well, thankfully, you don't have to sit through me trying to put bricks together and then all falling off. You can take one look at the Invisible Hand. There'll be a video with a few close-up shots. I really need to bring back the close cam that we had last year to it. But that is all for today's live stream. Any other questions before we wrap up? I know there's still a few of you watching. I appreciate it. Don't forget to smash like on the video. And when this stream is up, check out the merch, because so far there has already been a few purchases. Haven't checked how many actually, but I know purchases have been made on the store. So if you don't want to miss out on the limited edition February shirt, only going to be here for the length of February. I was going to run a special one, but I might do that next year. Then definitely head over to my store, check it out. Brand new desk mat, the first stream. We have now christened this desk mat and dust mat. To be fair, I did have to scrub the table down when I added this, but I think it looks really, really cool. It adds up, if you are curious what all these dots are, it adds up to the scale of Lego bricks. The studs are slightly wider so that it's not as trippy on the eyes, but they're spaced out by the 8mm that Lego bricks are, and I'm really, really liking the material. Really good quality, definitely worth the more premium price. I feel like 20 quid. A lot of money for a desk mat, but Juicy Cheese definitely going to go and get one of those shirts for their birthday. I'd appreciate it. It's help support the channel and help support the work that 442 and all the companies that they get the shirts from. Can't remember the make of this shirt. Really good quality. This one that I'm wearing today is the thinner fill one, and you can see on the site the thinner one is available in green, red, and possibly grey. Thicker one, many more colors, and is really good, not just for summer but also for winter. Not that thick. There's also a few jumpers and stuff. Go check them out after the stream. Thank you so much for checking out this stream at any point, and thank you especially to everyone that stayed. Shout out to CT over on Twitch. Don't forget, we're on YouTube and Twitch. You're welcome. See you when you stream again. Yeah, definitely. If you can catch Thursday on repeat, I'm sure there's going to be a load of laughs and jokes, but it's going to be a long one. So if not, I will see you in 2 Saturdays time. And hopefully we can wrap up the stream a little quicker. I remember last week it took a while, but that is all for today. And may the bricks be with you.